Hello and welcome to this round 2 of the Claremont League Cup for the season of Team Up. And we have got Luke Yonkers versus Akil Sadin. And what we have here is the two archetypes are, it's a Inkay, well, Malamar variant with Giratina and Deoxys, so the Shrine of Punishment variant of Malamar, and Akil is playing a Buzzwole GX, Lucario GX variant himself. So straight into the action, we see the nest ball from Akil going straight into Buzzwole GX, and it seems like he's looking to apply the pressure early. He attaches the Beast Energy. Again, for those who don't know, Beast Energy allows you to, you can only attach it to Ultra Beast Pokemon, and it allows them to do 30 more damage, and it counts as a Rainbow Energy when attached to that Ultra Beast. So he attaches the Skateboard to Riolu as well. We've seen that being played a lot with Jirachi. The Skateboard makes the Pokemon that it's attached to retreat one less, and it can retreat while paralyzed or asleep. We see an Ultra Ball from Akil. Looks to be searching through his deck as well, and he aims for the Marshadow. So Marshadow's let loose ability is basically a judge. Each player shuffles their hand into the deck and draws 4 cards. Very nice disruption from the beginning by Akil. He looks like he got a really nice setup, and he has disrupted Luke before he's gotten a turn. Four cards are drawn. Let's see what both of these players can make of their hands. We see Akil retreat into the Buzzwole, obviously being free retreat because of the Skateboard, and passes. See a Marshadow in Luke's hand. I would assume that he'd be doing something like that. We've got some Spell Tags as well. Spell Tag is quite a crucial card in the Giratina builds. Spell Tag, when it's attached to a Psychic Pokemon and that Pokemon is knocked out, that player may then put 4 damage counters in any way he likes on his opponent's Pokemon. So very crucial with Giratina spreading damage, Spell Tag spreading damage, Shrine of Punishment spreading damage, which makes it all in all a tough deck to deal with when playing GXs. We see a Mysterious Treasure here from Luke. He decides to discard the Guzma, and allowing him to search for a Psychic or Dragon type Pokemon. Taking a quick skim through his deck there, and he decides to go for another Inkay, opting to get the setup. And Luke hits for an Hypnosis, puts Buzzwole to sleep, and Akil gets the heads for the Awakening. So in the current math at the moment, Buzzwole's Jet Punch is currently doing 60 damage to the active and 30 to a bench, so he'd be getting a knockout on the Inkay this turn. He attaches a Fighting Energy to the Buzzwole. We see a couple of Beast Rings in Akil's hand as well. Those will come in handy a little bit later. Akil plays a Lily for 3 cards. We see Akil play down a Brooklet Yell. Brooklet Yell is a stadium for water and fighting deck, so basically you can search your deck for either a basic water or fighting Pokemon and put it down on your bench. We should be seeing, yes, we see Akil go for the Diancie Prism. Well, he's eyeing it out. It looks like Diancie is a very crucial card for fighting decks. He's opting not to. Well, let me carry on with the explanation for Diancie Prism. I'm sure you'll see it later in this matchup. So Diancie allows fighting Pokemon to do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's the ability. So basically all those damage modifiers stacking up in Akil's favor. So we see Akil knock out the Inkay, and he does 30 damage to Luke's benched Inkay as well. Very aggressive start for Akil here. Let's see what Luke's going to do to try and retaliate. Luke top decks a supporter, which is crucial for him right now. as he had no support in his hand. You see him rescue Stretcher for the Inkay that was just knocked out, and he will Lily for 6. Hopefully Luke can get something out of this and try and get his board rolling. See an Escape Board, an Ultra Ball, another Mars Shadow, an Ultra Ball, and a Mysterious Treasure. Luke deciding on what he's going to play. Looks like he's eyeing an Ultra Ball. So Luke plays the Ultra Ball, discarding an Ultra Ball. Very indecisive, but he chooses the Mysterious Treasure. Very interesting. Looking at Luke's build, there is no non-psychic Pokemon in his deck. He could have saved himself an Ultra Ball there and played the Mysterious Treasure instead. Perhaps he was just trying to cut his hand down, but definitely could have saved himself a little bit of resources for later in the game. So we see him go for an Inkay, and he passes. Akil obviously looking to stay on the offensive, with Buzzwole and Lucario both being weak to Psychic. This is a very tough matchup for Buzzwole GX, so he would like to try and shut those Inkays down before they start doing damage later. We see an Ultra Ball, he discards a Switch and a B-String. B-String is a very crucial card for the deck as well. B-String can only be played if your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining, and you can search your deck for 2 basic energy cards and attach it to one of your Ultra Beast Pokemon. So it's a good accelerator for the deck. We saw Akil play Tapu Lele, use its Wonder Tag ability for Guzma, and he eyes down one of the fresh Inkays on the bench. So he looks to be taking a 2 prize turn this turn. Retreats because of the Escape Board, and he hits with a Jet Punch, 60 to the active, 30 to the bench, and takes 2 prizes, nullifying those Inkays before they do anything. Akil's off to a very aggressive start here. We see Luke attach a Skateboard to the Inkay on the bench, and the Lily for 4 cards. He's got another Mars Shadow in his hand for Let Loose. I'm sure he's keeping that for another situational play. See a Cynthia, a Malamar, an Acrobike. Luke plays the Acrobike, gets to look at the top 2 cards, discards 1 and keeps 1 in hand. He decides to keep the Ultra Ball. Acrobike is a good accelerator for the deck as well. You get to discard those Psychic energies and bring them back with Psychic Recharge later. We see Luke evolve into Malamar on the bench. Malamar, for those who don't know, Malamar has an ability called Psychic Recharge. So for every Malamar on the bench, once during a turn, you can attach a Psychic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So he's playing an Ultra Ball. He opted for a Mars Shadow, and I think he's still deciding on what else he's going to discard here. Very interesting. Not quite sure what Luke is doing here. It seems to be a bit flustered. Ultra Ball for Mars Shadow, and he's throwing away the Cynthia as well. It's going to be interesting to see what Luke decides to go for here. He should be aiming for an attacker so late in the game. Looks like he's going to go for Deoxys. Deoxys did feature in the last Zoroark matchup, but Deoxys for a double colorless energy does Psychic, does 20 plus 20 more damage for each energy on your opponent's active Pokemon. We saw the Mewtwo from Evolutions do exactly the same thing, and Deoxys' second attack for 3 energies does 120, and you need to discard a Psychic energy, but in Malamar archetypes that's not really a problem. We see Deoxys having a Choice Band attached to him, and the damage should work out to 180 damage. So it does 40 extra damage for the two energies attached. One of those cards attached to the Buzzwole is in fact the Choice Band. So we see 40 extra damage from the energies, 30 for the Choice Band. So we're looking at 60 plus 30, which is 90, and his weakness is 180. So that would leave the Buzzwole short by 10. I see Akil rectifies the choice band attachment there, trying not to confuse his opponent. This is not exactly a bad play for Luke, because Luke could play down a Shrine of Punishment at any time and pick up the KO at a later stage. At this point, it would perhaps be wise for Akil to continue with the pressure and try and close out the game as quick as possible. Akil deciding on what move to make here. Akil plays down the Buzzwole, non-GX. I'll be referring to it later in the game as Baby Buzzwole. Baby Buzzwole, you see, does an attack, it does 30 damage, Sledgehammer, and it does 90 more damage if your opponent has exactly 4 prizes remaining. We saw Akil take the knockout on the Deoxys, going down to 2 prizes, and it looks like he did Knuckle Impact, so he won't be able to attack next turn with that Buzzwole. Luke promotes the Mars Shadow with a skateboard. It's got free attack. He dead drew into a Mysterious Treasure, so there's not much he can do this turn. So he passes. My understanding is that he won't be able to attack with a Buzzwole, but he has the escape rope in hand. We see him promote a Riolu without an escape board, and we see the Lucario GX. Lucario GX's attack, the name eludes me right now, but it does 30 damage and it does 90 more damage if the Pokemon was evolved this turn. So on the turn that it's evolved, it does 120 damage. That's Cynthia for 6. And he takes the knockout on the Malamar, going down to 1 prize. Very, very rough start for Luke here. Luke passes and he concedes. Game 1 for Akil in the bag. So just to recap on that match. So while they're setting up, Akil came out very aggressive, hitting with the jet punches early to spread the damage around and getting the multiple knockout on the Inkays, which in my opinion was a pivotal point in that game. Akil really shutting down the Inkays for the fact that with Malamar's doing Psychic Recharge, it allows Luke to get a constant run of attackers, and due to the fact that Akil's Pokemon are weak to Psychic, it takes a medium subpar attacker in Luke's deck to start doing serious damage. I mean, anything from 100 damage to 110 damage will one-shot basically anything in Akil's deck. From what I could see, he wasn't playing Lycanroc GX, he's playing Buzzwole, Lucario. So most of the Pokemon are weak to Psychic, while his attacking Pokemon are weak to Psychic. So it's definitely easy pickings for Luke. So the way Akil dealt with the matchup was to be as aggressive as possible. We'd like to see what happens in the second game, if Akil can try and keep up that pressure and shut Luke down. Otherwise, if Luke gets a better start, Akil might be in for a little bit of trouble. So let's see how the game 2 goes. From what I saw, it looked like Luke opted to go first this round. Luke finds 2 basic Inkays. We're ready to go. So Luke starts 2 Inkays. Akil starts with a Riolu. And let's see what Luke can make of this turn 1. We see an Acrobike. There's the Nihilego, which is a very nice tech for the deck. Near Lego for 1 energy. If your opponent is left on 2 prizes, Near Lego can use any attack on your opponent's side of the field, which can come in very handy in this particular matchup as well. We see an Ultra Ball from Luke. Off the Acrobike he got a Lily, so we know that he's getting a pretty good start this turn. We'll see if Luke learned from his last mistakes and try and stack his bench with as many Inkays as possible, not allowing Akil to disrupt that later in the game. So we see him bench an Inkay. 3 Inkays down on turn 1. This definitely looks like it's a lot better start, and it looks like potentially Akil might be in for a much more difficult game. We see the Lily for 7 cards, it appears to be. Luke would like to see an attacker, I would assume. We see he gets to let loose Marshadow. Another Inkay, very nice start from Luke, much more dominant than his last start. The Acrobike, he opted to keep the Malamar. And he passes, not giving much away, but with a big hand. I'm sure we would see Akil liking to try and nullify that hand down. Akil starts with a Professor Kukui. That is not a good start for Akil. I would assume that his hand is not that great. Can't really see on camera, but it looks like he just got a Guzma off the Professor Kukui. Escape Rope. He tries to disrupt Luke's play a little bit. Touches an energy to Riolu. Diancie benched. And he attacks for 10 damage. Oh, it's 30 with Diancie and 50 with Kukui. Wow. So it's 50 damage. My apologies. 10 damage for the attack, 20 extra damage with Diancie's ability, and 20 extra damage because of the Professor Kukui played earlier in the turn. We see 1 Malamar benched. Luke's got a really large hand there, lots of options for Luke. Ultra Ball. You see Luke discard a Rescue Stretcher. And he discards a Shrine of Punishment as well. So for those who don't know what Shrine of Punishment is, Shrine of Punishment is a stadium that does 10 damage to all EX and GX Pokemon between turns. With Luke's deck playing no GX Pokemon by the looks of things, there's nothing for him to lose. He gains completely, and with Akil's deck being quite GX heavy, Shrine of Punishment is a pretty good card to play, but right now I see that Luke doesn't see the need for it as yet. He attaches an energy to the Deoxys on the bench. He uses his Psychic Recharge from the discard pile. We see a Spell Tag attached by Luke, as discussed earlier. Spell Tag being attached to a Psychic Pokemon. When Deoxys is knocked out, he'll be able to spread 40 damage. And we see a Lily for 5 cards. He gets the Skateboard, which is quite crucial right now because he attached an energy to the benched Deoxys. So Skateboard will allow that Inkay to get out of the active. We see him attach the Skateboard and retreat into the Deoxys. A reminder about Deoxys attack. Psychic does 20 plus 20 for every energy on your opponent. So on the opponent's active Pokemon in any case. So it will do 40 with weakness, it'll do 80 damage and knock out the Riolu with 70 HP. Sees a bit of confusion, but Akil understands. That's definitely a knockout. Akil got a Jirachi, which right now Akil's basically surviving at the moment. He needs to get as many Pokemon down as he can. We saw Jirachi in a previous match, but just to explain again, Jirachi's got an ability called Stellar Wish. Once he's in your active, you can put him to sleep, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and get a trainer card. But Akil just searched his whole deck. That is a terrible misplay, and it doesn't seem like Luke picked up on that. Okay, just a reminder for everybody watching, Jirachi's ability is actually looking at the top 5 cards of your deck and picking a trainer from the top 5. And it seemed that Akil searched his deck there. He's going back into his deck and taking a different supporter. This is terrible. I think Luke has just picked up on it. Luke is explaining what Stellar Wish does. So Luke is being very generous here and not calling a judge. Luke's allowing Akil to continue with the turn after looking at the top 5. Very good sportsmanship, although a League Cup is on the line here. League Cup Championship is on the line. But moving on from the mistake by Akil, he Ultra Balls for the Mars Shadow, he attaches an escape board to Jirachi and uses Let Loose. At this point, this was, well, team up cards are very new at the moment, so I'm assuming that some of the players have not really gone through what some of the cards have done. Mistakes happen, and hats off to Luke's sportsmanship over there, although a judge should have been called to handle the situation. Both players draw 4 cards, and it looks like Akil is just going to end his turn. Luke draws for turn. We see an Acrobike, we see a Giratina. Alright, so Acrobike by Luke. Sure you'll be discarding the Psychic Energy? No, the Lily. Interesting. He wants to keep the Psychic Energy to attach to the active, I'm assuming. And as called, he attaches the Psychic Energy to the Deoxys. And we see him bench a Giratina. Giratina's ability is quite a unique one. If it's in your discard pile at any time in your turn, you may, well, before you attack, you may return him from the discard pile to your bench, and in doing so you can put 1 damage counter on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. He takes a knockout on the Jirachi for the prize, and Luke is on 4 prizes. Giratina's attack for 3 energies does 130 damage, and it does 40 damage to one of your own Pokemon. You get to decide, it's not to himself. We see Akil bench a Buzzwole of a Nestball, and Akil passes. Although Akil has the B-String in his hand, and B-String is activated at the moment, we're assuming he doesn't want that Buzzwole to become a target. We see Luke evolve another Malamar, so he's got 2 Psychic Recharges a turn now. We see the first of the Psychic Recharges. And Luke attacks for 20 with Psychic. Akil draws and passes. It's Luke's turn now. Draw for turn. We see an energy. Luke opts to attach the energy to the Deoxys and take the knockout. Akil promotes the Buzzwole GX, and we see the B-String. So Luke is on 3 prizes, so B-String is legal. Akil gets to search for 2 basic energies and attach it to his Ultra Beast, and we see Akil play a second one, so he can search for up to 4 basic energies and attach it to one of his Ultra Beasts, which in this case is only Buzzwole GX. So Buzzwole went from empty to ready to attack in 1 turn. And we see Akil, by the looks of things, again, he doesn't have a GX marker on him, but I'm not sure, he might have knuckle impacted there. Luke's Spell Tag comes into place, so he decides to do 20 to each of the bench. We see Luke promote the Inkay with the skateboard, obviously for the free retreat, allowing him to still psychic recharge this turn. Luke coming out the gate very aggressively here, and this is the kind of matchup that we would expect between a psychic and a fighting deck. We see Luke use his psychic recharge ability to the Giratina, getting him ready to attack. He retreats into the Giratina and he attacks for 130, which is 260 because of weakness, and it's a knockout. He has to place 40 damage, so he places it onto his benched Malamar. And Luke goes down to 1 prize. We see our kill evolve. Attaches the 1 energy to Lucario. So the attack that I forgot earlier is Aura Strike. It does 30 damage, and if he evolved from Riolu during this turn, he does an extra 90, so that's 120 damage. So it's 120. That is another misplay. Giratina's got resistance to fighting, so Giratina, even with Diancie doing 140, that should have only done 120 damage last turn. So Giratina should have survived. We see Luke bring the Giratina back from the discard pile, and he gets to do 10 damage to 2 of his benched Pokemon. We're still going to see game here. We're going to see 2 psychic recharges to the Giratina. He's going to retreat the Inkay and knock out the Lucario with weakness, but that was a misplay. Giratina has got resistance to fighting, so doing the 120 with the Diancie 140, resistance of 20, it's 120. That was another misplay, but Luke still managed to get the game. It's 1-1. So we've seen a couple of misplays in the last game. We've seen Akil misplay with Jirachi searching his deck for an item opposed to looking to the top 5 cards. We've seen Luke misplay with regards to his energy count, well, not the energy count, but the damage with the resistance, not seeing that. But essentially the game goes on. No player picked up on it. The game continues, but at this point I think it's just a nerves game right now. I think both of these players, it's round 2, they're both coming off of a win, so both players would definitely like to carry on their win streak to get into the top cut later in the tournament. We see both players setting up, and by the looks of things, Akil is going to be going first this time around. Both players have an active Pokemon, and we start. The start is Riolu and Giratina. See Akil attach energy for his turn to the Riolu. He looks to be benching a Buzzwole GX. No, he takes that back. No, he does bench it, and it's Cynthia. Luke start looking a little subpar at the moment. He's got, by the looks of things, his hand didn't look too great. We can see a Malamar Shrine of Punishment. He does have a Mysterious Treasure though. So we see Akil play the Let Loose Marshadow. We hope to see Luke get something out of that at least. Again, starting off with the Let Loose is very disabling for your opponent. We see 2 Lilies and Acrobike, so Luke looks like that he's got a better hand than what he started with. Luke discards a Cynthia and keeps the Deoxys, so he's got something to put on his bench. We see Luke attach energy to the Deoxys, and because it's his first turn, he'll be lilling for 6 cards. We see quite a lot of cards obtained there. We see the Mysterious Treasure. I'm sure Luke will be aiming for an Inkay. He does go for the Inkay and places it down on the bench. Not a bad start for either player here. Luke passes to Akil. We see Tapulele with its Wonder Tag ability, allowing Akil to search for a support out of his deck. And he takes the Cynthia. Cynthia being a staple in every deck at the moment with regards to drawing support, shuffling your hand into your deck and drawing 6 new cards. Akil plotting. Looks like he is trying to set cards aside for an Ultra Ball. And we see a Nest Ball from Akil. I would assume he'd be eyeing out the Diancie. No, he goes for a Jirachi instead, trying to get the better setup. It's not a bad play. Escape Rope, very nice. That was an obvious Jirachi choice then. We see he's got the skateboard in hand as well, and he's using his Stellar Wish correctly this time. Jirachi should be asleep though, but he gets to take a trainer card from his top 5 cards. He decides to go for a Lily. Although upon using the ability, Jirachi should be asleep, but with the skateboard, the sleep really doesn't play a factor. Akil rectifies that now. We see an Ultra Ball discarding 2 B strings. We see the Lucario. So at this point, Aura Strike is doing 120. We see the skateboard, and Lucario attacks for 120, knocking out the Inkay. So Akil going back to his original game plan and shutting down those Inkays. And we can see Luke suffering a little bit without hitting those multiple Inkays on his turn 1 like he did in the previous game. Luke draws for turn. He draws into a choice band. I see there's some spell tags in his hand as well. There's a Guzma. Also see a Field Blower as well. Luke attaches the spell tag to the Deoxys. He Field Blows the skateboard from Jirachi. Field Blower allowing you to discard up to 2 combination of tool cards and stadium cards in play. And we see a Lily for 3. Luke gets a Mars Shadow, a Guzma, and a Mysterious Treasure out of that Lily. We see the Mysterious Treasure discarding a Guzma, and I'm sure he'll be looking to get another Inkay. We see him take the Inkay, and he didn't shuffle, so it looks like he'll be letting loose. Attaches a spell tag to Inkay, and we see a let loose from Luke. So this is game 3 of round 2, and the score is currently 1-1. Luke hitting 2 Ultra Balls, an escape board, and a Guzma out of that. You see Luke play an Ultra Ball. And he's eyeing out another Inkay. Luke again disabling himself by not getting a supporter in his hand. He's got an escape board left in his hand and no drawing support. Very interesting to see this play by Luke. really cutting himself down. With one card left in hand, he passes. We see the Brooklet Eel. Akil gets to search for a basic fighting Pokemon. Or water, but he doesn't play any in his deck. We see him go for the baby Buzzwole. I assume that he's trying not to commit too many GXs onto his field at the moment. And we see Akil Aura Strike for 30 damage due to the fact that Lucario didn't evolve last turn. We see Luke drawing to a Malamar, which is not all bad. We'll see a Psychic Recharge from Luke. Attaching to the Giratina, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a pass here. And he passes. Energy attached to Lucario. And another 30 damage by a kill. We see the Shrine of Punishment coming into play now. And another pass. So all of Akil's GX Pokemon take 10 damage. A quick field blow from Akil. He realizes the threat that the Shrine of Punishment could be bringing to him right now with his current board state. We see the Acerola on Tapu Lele, which would allow him to use that Wonder Tag ability again, and another 30 damage from Akil. Both players coming off to a very slow start here. Another Malamar for Luke. Luke potentially taking the opportunity to get his board set up while Akil is having the slow start. We see a skateboard on Deoxys. He retreats into the Mars Shadow and passes. Very interesting. I'm going to make the assumption that there's no other Psychic Energy cards in Luke's discard pile, so he's trying not to commit too many Pokemon on the bench, while too many Malamars, making them targets for Akil. We see the Wonder Tag from Akil. We could be seeing a Lily or a Cynthia, or perhaps he'll go for the Guzma. He goes for the Guzma. Who's Akil going to target down with that Guzma? We see the Malamar being targeted. And he takes another Guzma off the Stellar Wish. And Akil passes. Psychic Energy drawn by Luke. Really dead drawing at this point in time. And Akil just using that to stall a little bit and buy himself some time to get a better setup. Luke has no choice but to pass. We see that draw by Akil. We see another Stellar Wish. And he opts for the switch. Again, when using Stellar Wish, Jirachi should be asleep. Thank you, Akil. Akil taking a quick look through Luke's discard pile I'm sure to find out what his energy situation is like there. You see the switch? And Lucario is doing 30 damage again. Lucario really putting the work in this matchup. Luke finally draws into a supporter. Luke really could have evolved that Inkay into Malamar on the bench and drawn 6 cards opposed to 5. We see another Shrine of Punishment being played. And Luke does not evolve the Inkay into Malamar and chooses to let loose instead. Knowing well that Akil had a Guzma in hand, I think a let loose was a good play. Luke starts seeing some energies. He attaches to the Deoxys and passes. Shrine of Punishment takes effect. All GX Pokemon take 10 damage. We see a Cynthia in Akil's hand, and he did draw another Guzma. And we see Akil play the Cynthia. I'm sure Akil's trying to ramp up the aggression as much as he can here before Luke gets his board state set up, because he is slowly but surely setting up. Akil draws 6 cards, gets a couple of energies, a Riolu, opts for another 30 damage. Malamar being on 30 HP left now. Luke draws for turn. Looks like a Mysterious Treasure is about to be played. A manual attachment to the Giratina and just a Cynthia. At that point, another piece of criticism is that Luke could have used Mysterious Treasure, discarded the energy, gone for the Malamar, and used that Psychic Recharge to get it back again. Luke draws into 2 Malamars and a Skateboard energy. He's got some things in his hand, and he's passing and allowing Shrine to take its toll. See Professor Kukui by Akil. He attaches the energy to the Buzzwole GX. And we see a retreat. So it looks like he's going for the double knockout here. Jet Punch hitting the active for 30 and the bench Deoxys for 30 as well. That's a nice 2 prizes for Akil, going down to 3 and really starting to apply the pressure. Luke spreading the damage out around the board with his spell tag. And of course Shrine continuing the damage assault there. He reminds Akil about the Shrine damage. Mysterious Treasure discarding an energy. I'm sure he'll be aiming for a Malamar now. No. He looks to be getting the Nihilego. What hasn't been discussed is Lucario's GX attack, which is Cantankerous Beatdown. For 2 energies, it does 30 damage for each damage counter on Lucario. So right now, Lucario is sitting there as a glass cannon with 90 damage on him. He's going to be hitting for 270 damage. We see Giratina take the knockout on the Buzzwole and Shrine damage spreading around. Luke placing the 40 damage on the benched Malamar. We see Akil use his Stellar Wish, going for Acerola. Luke having a bit of a board presence. Looks like Akil's going to be having to play a little bit defensively. We are roughly less than 5 minutes away from time being called, so both of these players really needing to pick up the pace if they don't want their game to result in a draw. We see Akil play the Acerola on the Lucario, really denying Luke from getting ahead in prizes. And we see the B-string. Buzzwell being the only Ultra Beast out on the field at the moment, attaching the two energies there. We've seen, while I've discussed the baby Buzzwell's first attack, which is the Sledgehammer, which does 30 plus 90 more, but his second attack is swing around for 3 energies. It does 80 damage. You get to flip 2 coins and it does 20 more damage for each head, so basically capping out at 120 damage. We see Akil pass after the B-string. Luke gets another Inkhead down. We see Guzma for Riolu. And Luke promoting the Mars Shadow. Touches a skateboard to Mars Shadow, giving it free retreat. And we see Luke retreat back into the Giratina. And Luke knocks out the Riolu. No, we see a Psychic Recharge first. No, we don't. A little bit of indecisiveness here, guys. I mean, we are so deep into the second round here, with both players standing a real chance to win. Both players down to 3 prize cards left, and Luke being in a slight bit of an advantage here. We see the Lucario being played back down, enabling his Aura Strike to do 120 damage this turn. He will need an energy though, and I did see one in Akil's hand. We see Diancie being benched. This is upping the damage to 140, but as discussed last time, 140, Giratina's got resistance, so it is not enough for a knockout as yet. We see an Ultra Ball played by Akil, and he whiffs the Ultra Ball, and we see a Lily for 5. Akil declares his attack, and Luke realizes that it's resistance, being left on 10 left. And Luke allows Akil to take his attack back in these crucial moments. That is all I can say, is that is incredible sportsmanship. To allow your opponent to take the attack back after the attack was declared in this moment in the game is crazy. It really is crazy. Alright, so he uses Stellar Wish and passes. It's Luke's turn. We saw Akil eye the Professor Kukui for the extra 20 damage. I'm assuming he's hoping that that's going to come in handy. We see he looks like he's going to be doing 2 Psychic Recharges. and time is called. They pulled out the dice for time, so Luke is turn 0. Really, really critical at this point in time that had Luke not allowed Akil to take the attack back, Luke would be taking a guaranteed 2 prizes this turn. So he knocks out the Jirachi as a consolation prize and Luke goes down to 2. Akil is turn 1 of turns. So let's see how Akil responds. Akil promotes the baby Buzzwole. With an extra energy and the Kukui in hand, he would be doing enough, regardless of the flipping of the coins, to knock out the Giratina. At this point in time, he's doing 100 damage, minus 20, so he'll need the Kukui, and he plays it. Okay, it's Luke's last turn, and he's left on 2 prizes. Akil knocks out the Giratina. Giratina's ability allows him to come back, so by the looks of things, Luke would need a Guzma to win the game. It's a draw for turn. I think Luke is having a look at how many Guzmas he's played already. You see an Acrobike from Luke. It's an Ultra Ball and a Lily. See the Ultra Ball. He discards a Giratina. And he discards a Cynthia. I think Luke realizes he doesn't have enough to take the game. And because Luke doesn't play any GX Pokemon, it looks like Akil won't be taking the game either. So from what I can see here, it looks like it's going to be a draw. Luke decides to retreat into the near Lego. His opponent's left on 2 prizes left, so essentially Luke can use any attack on his opponent's side of the field. There's many attacks that would be able to knock out the baby Buzzwole, because he's telling Akil because he has 2 prizes left, he can use any attack. So it looks like he is going to use Lucario's attack. It's his second attack that does, I think it's 120 damage. That's 130 damage. Cyclone Kick does 130, knocks out the baby Buzzwole, and that looks like that's going to be it for the round. So a lot of misplays, a lot of miscalculations, but at the end of the day, very entertaining game to watch, well played by both players. Hats off to both of them, and Luke for his good sportsmanship. So it looks like round 2 is going to end off for a draw between these 2 guys. I'd like to take the moment to thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see the rest of the matchups, and give a like if you like this beautiful display of great sportsmanship. And we should be seeing the end of the game coming up soon. We see a Lily from Akil. He finds the Beast Energy, but he won't have enough to take the double knockout this game. You see the switch into the Buzzwole GX. Beast Energy. He'll be hitting for 80 damage, so you can knock out the Nihilego, but the Malamar will go down to 20 HP left. Well done both guys, and again, thank you very much for everybody for watching, and I hope you stick around for the rest of the matchups that will be coming out your way shortly. Thank you everybody.